Hello everybody, we're here with our new episode of Full Force Drafting. We're going to be doing Green-Black Delirium this week by popular demand. Ran a poll on Twitter at IlyonMTG, and Green-Black Delirium came out on top. It was pretty close between that and Werewolves, but looks like this week it will be Delirium. So if you do have any feedback as well, something I wanted to get into is just let me know either here on the comments or on YouTube or on the Twitter. You can just give me a comment about like what you think about like the new editing that I've done for the actual rounds, if you want to see full rounds or if you want to see the rounds edited, things like that, just so that I know what's going on. It's always good to hear a little bit from you guys. Alright, so with Green-Black Delirium, we're going to be looking into getting a bunch of crawling sensations if possible, Epitaph Golem, Tooth Collector, things like that. Obsessive Skinner would be great. This is a very awkward pack, because Olivia is a great card. It's nasty. I mean, even just as a 3/3 flyer for 3, that's very good. But we're going to be taking Deadweight, I guess? We want to take black, we want to take green, and it is the best black or green card. There's no Delirium. This is going to be a tough one to force, because we've got to get a lot of... And I know that I say this every week, because you've got to get the right cards, but this one I feel, I don't know, it seems like it's going to be tough to get a lot of Delirium, because a lot of people will play the random Delirium cards that you want to play with. So things like Obsessive Skinner, they're not going to go late. Same with like Tooth Collector. And those are the cards that you really want to pay off. So that's going to be very interesting to try and maneuver around that and try and make a deck still. But we're going to try. We'll do what we can. So we have Fleeting Memories here. 2 Fleeting Memories, kind of interesting. I'll take Throttle though. I think Throttle is not amazing, but fine. When, like I said, we're taking green and black cards. That's what we're looking for. Alright, Fork in the Road can actually help us splash a little bit of white, and there are some good white Delirium cards. Plus, it does help trigger Delirium in and of itself, because it does give you both a land in your graveyard and a sorcery, so that's actually pretty good. Vampire Noble's not bad, but I'm going to take the Fork in the Road here. That will enable me to play a little bit of white. Like, I can grab Paranoid Parish Blade here, or Deadweight or Rabid Bite, too. Those are all really good. I'm going to take Rabid Bite over Deadweight. I like Deadweight quite a bit, and it's good in Delirium, too, because it lets you get an enchantment into your graveyard. But this is a sorcery. I don't have a lot of sorceries, and I probably won't. Like, Fork in the Road I do have right now, but... And Rabid Bite is also just able to kill a lot bigger and better things anyways. Now, what do we have? Alright, there we go. Our first Delirium card. We've got Moldgraph Scavenger. There's also Crow of Dark Tidings, which I don't mind, especially in Delirium. I wonder if I should just take the Crow and try and wheel the Scavenger. What other cards are going to be taken here? So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're only going to get back 2 cards. It's probably going to be Open the Armory. It might be Moldgraph Scavenger. I'm going to take the Crow. I don't think Crow will wheel. It's like Open the Armory and Catalog probably come back. Maybe Moldgraph, though, depending on how many people are playing blue. Could be wrong. Alright, let's take Briar Ridge. There's also Twins, Aim High. Both of those seem okay, but I like Briar Ridge decently enough. It's funny, I passed... We get a Delirium card and then I passed it. Alright, Moldgraph Scavenger, sweet. We should be able to get a lot of Moldgraph Scavengers fairly late, so I don't really mind passing them. We'll get a Watcher in the Web at some point, too. I do like having at least one Watcher in the Web for most of my green-based decks, just because it's so good at blocking. There's a lot of games that I've either won or lost, because you just can't attack through it in a single turn. Like, you're in a race situation, and you're like, okay, my opponent's dead next turn, they need like 3 blockers, I can't deal with their flyer, but it doesn't matter because they're just dead anyways. And then all of a sudden they play Watcher in the Web, and you're like, nope, I'm just dead, need a removal spell, and you just don't get it. So Watcher in the Web is pretty annoying that way. And I mean, also just totally shuts down a lot of flyers. I've been more and more impressed with the card. It's not like a first pick or anything even close to that, but it's a solid role player. It does what you want it to do, which is just block a lot, and it does it fairly well. Alright, Biting Rain is okay. I might need to wipe the board sometime. I don't think I'm going to play Equestrian Skill or Might Beyond Reason. Alright, Nibelus of Dusk is just a lot better. I don't have to take all green and black cards. Like, I can actually just hate something. I think I'd rather just hate Nibelus of Dusk out. It's not a great card, but I'm not going to have a lot of ways to deal with flyers anyways, so... Warped Landscape. I like a Warped Landscape in these decks just to trigger Delirium, so I'll definitely grab that. So yeah, definitely need to get some Skinners opened. Maybe a Soul Swallower would be nice. We need some, like, really good Delirium cards. Ooh, Explosive Apparatus is actually okay, but I think that I need some creatures. I only have 3. Explosive Apparatus is fine just because it does add an artifact into your graveyard, and that's hard to get. I'd really like to do the version of the deck that's, like, not just all in on Delirium, but also kind of on self-mill, where you just get, like, the Crawling Sensations and Epitaph Golems, because that deck is really fun to run. It's hard to put together, but if you can get it, it's really powerful. You just mill down to your last few cards, and then you just keep putting your best cards back on top of your library. Using Crawling Sensation to get, like, tokens every turn, because you can put back lands on top and then just pitch them again. It's just a great deck. It's a lot of fun when you can get it together. Alright, we could use a Gitrog monster. I wouldn't mind that as our rare. That'd be okay. This is... I passed the Sorin last time that we did Full Force, where I didn't take it. I showed my commitment to our blue-red spells list. But this time, I could actually use a Sorin. I would definitely play a Sorin in this deck. That's something that I think is in keeping with playing the deck. And, I mean, you can splash a little bit of white. I think that's a key thing with the green-black Delirium builds. Is you're going to splash white a fair amount of the time. Fork in the Road is a decent enough card to trigger Delirium. And there's a few good white Delirium cards that you want. Like Paranoid Parish Blade's one of the ones that stands out. Something like the Ox can be okay, of course, because it buys you a lot of time. Inquisitor's Ox isn't that terrible. And there's some, you know, obviously good white cards if you're not even Delirium. Like, you can splash a Bound by Moonsilver, or like I said, if you're really lucky enough, you can get a Sorin. Okay, and Gitrog monster. Not quite. Invocation of Saint Traft is slightly worse than Gitrog monster. Man, there's some really good white cards here. Pious Evangel and Angelic Purge are great, but we're going to take Byway Courier and stay on target. Ghoulcaller's Accomplice isn't bad. I actually like the card quite a bit. If we could have ways to mill ourselves more, like if we had a Crawling Sensation instead of just Crow of Dark Tidings, Ghoulcaller's Accomplices go up. Still probably not over Byway Courier, but the card gets better and better the more that you self-mill. That's what I'd like to do. I want to do a lot of self-milling here. Add up our Delirium, and then do some really sweet, crazy stuff. That's what I'm all about here, really. One of the most fun green-black decks I actually got managed to play Second Harvest, and I'd love to be able to do that for the video. I managed to get, I think, 2 Gissa's Biddings from under the floorboards and 2 Crawling Sensations, and I played Second Harvest in the deck, and I don't think I ever made less than 10 power with it. It's a really rare occurrence. I wouldn't say that you should ever go for it, unless you just like kind of get it handed to you like I did that draft. But it's a lot of fun, that's for sure, if you can actually get it to work. Ooh, all right. I really want Solitary Hunter because the card's just, I mean, solid. But I'm tempted to just take Epitaph Golem. I don't have a great way to mill myself out yet. But this is such a key point in that kind of style that I want to do that I think I'll just take it here. It's too bad because Solitary Hunter is just insane. The card's just a fantastic creature. It's huge is the problem. But yeah, I'll take the Epitaph. We might get back a Crow. Ghoulcaller's Accomplice will come back if Crow doesn't, I think. So that's fine. I wouldn't mind... Ooh, there we go. I wouldn't mind getting that Bob Manley. Stoic Builder would be good for us. Like, get some lands back out of our graveyard. Really need a Crawling Sensation, though. Alright, Hunter is quite good. Hinterland Logger. Gissa's Bidding, sure. That's not bad. Builder would be okay in this list, because we do have Fork in the Road, we do have Warped Landscape. Oh, sorry. We might be able to get, like... some crawling sensations, hopefully, or, you know, the crows work. Stuff like that, and Builder's pretty good in that. I have no Delirium, really, right now. I guess I could take just Stallion. I think Stallion wheels, though. So, okay, just taking Giss's bidding here. That's another way for us to actually get sorceries, too. You've got to look at how many sorceries and instants you're actually picking up. I don't have a lot of instants right now, which is a bit of a problem. I might need to grab like an aim high or something, because right now all I have is throttle. So I'll have to pay a little bit of attention to that and try and pick one up. A Vessel of Nascency would also be good, so that I have another enchantment to go to the graveyard. Alright, well, there's Bob Manley. There's nothing else here for us. And I mean, this is decent enough for getting lands out of our graveyard for like our few different ways that we have to get it. I wouldn't mind a Call the Bloodline either. Call the Bloodline helps you trigger a lot of Delirium, and then of course Stoic Builder gets a lot better when you have cards like that. I never really liked this card all that much, but I've been getting to appreciate it a little bit more. It does get you a bit of value if you have the right cards to go with it. Like, it's not amazing, don't get me wrong, but it's probably better than I thought it was. Like, I always just looked at it as like a 2-3 for 3 that just didn't do anything else, really. Nothing that you cared about. And I think that's underestimating it. It's a little better than that. Okay, so what else do we have here? Howlpack Resurgence. So that would have been good if we had got the other winning list. The one that was in second place was Werewolves, which is something that we really want Howlpack Resurgences for. However, I'll just take Morkrot Necropod. It's large and in charge. This thing ends games very quickly, so that's fine. I'm not super excited to have it, not super sad either. Go over there. And our first Delirium card in our Delirium deck. Woo! End of pack 2, we get Stallion of Ashmouth. We can get an Explosive Apparatus anytime, so I don't mind taking a Stallion. The card's actually decent in this style of deck, because you can put a lot of pump into it when you actually get Delirium. It makes it very big. Another Epitaph Golem. I mean, I think I'd rather just have Firebog at this point. I already have an Epitaph Golem, and obviously I have no real way to mill myself out yet, so I think Firebog's a lot more realistic. We need some early game to block. Vessel of Malignity, sure. Another Bob Manley here. I'm hoping that we get back a Ghoul Caller's Accomplice or that Crow. We might not. I think that is this pack is what we're looking for. A Vampire Noble. I mean, it's a card. I guess I'll take it. This hasn't turned out as well as I wanted. We have very little Delirium so far. I haven't even seen any white Delirium cards, really. We saw the one Paranoid Parish Blade, and that was it. So, I guess that we're just kind of hoping on pack 3. All our hopes and dreams. We only have one Moldgraph Scavenger, and that's kind of weird. You can pick those up pretty late. I feel like somebody else is trying to get a bit of Delirium going, because we didn't wheel that other Moldgraph either. Stoic Builder. Shambleback. Alright. Grab some late cards here. Let's take out a Vampire Noble. I'm not going to try and play that many. I'm not sure that I want to play Briar Ridge Patrol either. We'll see. Another Deadweight to help trigger Delirium. There's also Pale Rider. Pale Rider is not great, but it's okay if we need to have a 2-drop. I do have one Madness card. And I mean, of course you can trigger Delirium off of it too. Just discarding's fine that way. I think I'm going to take the Deadweight. I don't have a ton of removal. I have Rabid Bite, a Deadweight, and a Throttle, so 2 Deadweight seems good. And it kind of works as early game. It's not quite as good as a creature, but it's similar. Ooh, Pack Guardian. Pack Guardian's nice. It is another 4-drop though, so that's a little bit awkward. But I mean, there's nothing else here. There's Explosive Apparatus and Harvest Hand. Drogskull Cavalry is really good late game. If you can actually stall for like 2 or 3 turns, this card just wins you games. But we'll take the Pack Guardian. Now we get from under the floorboards, Era Falcon Wrath, Murderous Compulsion. Man, this is a lot of stuff that we wanted. Dauntless Cathar is kind of cool. Reaper. This is a great pack, just in general. I might want the Era Falcon Wrath over the From Under the Floorboards. And that sounds really weird, but we have almost no 2-drops. And so I guess that I'm going to take this. We can discard a land to it and help trigger our Stoic Builders or get Delirium, so I suppose that's fine, and I'll just take it here. Hinterland Logger, Behold the Beyond. There we go. Logger, Quilled Wolf, Behold the Beyond. I'll take Quilled Wolf. It's just a lot better late game than Logger is. Logger is fine, but Quilled Wolf just is a house late in the game. When you can make this a 6/6 at command, it's really good. I'm interested in Behold the Beyond. I'm mildly tempted to take it, but I need 2-drops so badly, and I don't really need any late game. Alright, and Farbog Revenant, Skeleton Keep. I can take a Root out for the sideboard, that's fine. I'm hoping that Behold the Beyond wheels, because I'd love to play it. If you can resolve it on a stable board position, it's very hard to lose. Just get any 3 cards that you want out of your deck. That's just fantastic. And by the time that you're casting it, you really don't have any other cards in your hand that you're worried about discarding. Wicker Witch is okay for triggering Delirium, but I mean, at this point, what do we even have for Delirium? I have Stallion, and that's it? I just saw no Delirium this whole draft. I guess Moldgraph Scavenger. Another Briar Ridge. I mean, Wicker Witch does help us get to Delirium, but like I said, I don't even know how much that matters anymore. I need it to, because that's kind of the point of this series, but this draft isn't cooperating. Alright, I'm going to take... I need 3-drops anyways. I'll take the Wicker Witch. Briar Ridge Patrol is a much better card, but I don't really have a great curve right now. I have a ton of 4s. I need to play them all. Skeleton? Sure. There's Macabre Waltz and Big Pig. I like Big Pig. It does have Delirium, so I could just maybe take that just for reasons. Sure, why not? Macabre Waltz is pretty mediocre, I think, in this list. We never got enough, like, Crows and Crawling Sensations and stuff to really make the graveyard matter that much with it. Well, this is my 3 Delirium deck. I have 3 Delirium cards. And not exactly the ones that I wanted. No Kindly Strangers, no Tooth Collectors, no Obsessive Skinners. Really just nothing that was great for Delirium. No Topplegeists on a splash, nothing like that. I mean, I can take Inquisitor's Ox here. I don't think that I really want to splash it. Explosive Apparatus. It's possible that I want to play that over something. I don't know, maybe over Watcher in the Web? I don't have a lot of flyers, though. Wow, that is a really late Reaper of Flight Moon Silver. The card's not amazing, but I mean, it is a 5-mana 3/3 flyer that's perfectly serviceable without any other text. Groundskeeper I don't see us ever using. Sure. Groundskeeper is cool if you get, like, again, something like a Call the Bloodline, but we just don't have anything like that. Another Big Pig. And what am I cutting from this deck? I want to cut something on the top end, like one of the 4-drops. Problem is that I've got some good 4s, like a lot of these are really good, and the one that I'm less impressed with is Stallion of Ashmouth, and that's kind of the point of the deck, is to play the Delirium, so I think I'll keep our Delirium card in. I could just cut Briar Ridge Patrol. I don't love doing that. Because I kind of want to just main the Explosive Apparatus. Maybe I can just take it out. Sure. Fork in the Road actually is pretty bad, too. It does let us get a land into our graveyard, but I'm not as concerned about that. Maybe I'll just Explosive over Fork in the Road, because I'm not splashing, and I have almost no double colors. Like, I have Giss's Bidding and Pack Guardian, that's it. Yeah, this seems fine. Alright. Well, let's do our lands, and then we'll play some games. I think that 9-7 is perfectly serviceable. It gives us really a 10-8 split. We have the double black for Giss's bidding, and deadweights we want to get fairly early, so we want to have a little bit more black than normal. So I think like 10-8's good. And we'll do the rounds and another draft after this, so stick around, everybody. It's too bad I don't have throttle held up, because I could stop this from happening. But, oh well. Like, if I could this would be a great time for throttle. Our opponent equips it, discards a card, and then we just get throttle off, and we manage to get them to discard a card and spend mana equipping an heirloom. Are they going to pass the turn? Oh, please. Please just pass the turn.